Next, the layout gravity will be start. Then you can see it is nicely drawer like, and we'll have to give it the header layout from this nav drawer header. Okay, so nav drawer header. So now we can see that the header layout has been placed here. Next, the menu. I will give the menu from the menu nav drawer that I have created earlier. You can see those menus have been placed here. And then item text color will be color black. Okay, so it is done as of now. So next, what we need to do is we need a class for view pager to show these fragments inside the tabs. So for that we will create a new Java class and we'll name it as a main view pager adapter. Okay, and it will extend from fragment pager adapter. Okay, so okay, so we need to create some methods. So first press alt plus enter and then implement methods. So these two methods need to be created. So okay, now again it is showing some errors. So create constructor matching super, so create that. Okay, it is done. Now next, inside this get item we need to change some things. So first it is giving us the index of the tab. So for that we'll create a switch case statements. So switch over I. Now if it is a case 0, then nodes create nodes fragment object from that nodes fragment class, and we will return this one, this nodes fragment. Okay, and if it is the case 1, that means we are in the second tab, that means we need notifications fragment. So we'll create notifications fragment object, and we'll return that one. And the default case will be return null. Okay, so this is done. Now as we are using two tabs, so get count will be 2. Now we need to set the titles. So for that we will need a override method. For that, press Ctrl plus O, and from here we will choose get page title, this one. Okay, and it is giving the position as an argument, so we will switch to this position, and if the case is 0, that means the first tab, so we will return notes. The name will be notes. Okay, now if it is the second tab, so then we will return notifications. Okay, and the default, for default case, it will return tab. So it's done. Now the final thing is need to be done, and that is this main activity. Okay, so open this main activity, and first of all we need to create some variables here. So first will be a toolbar, so private toolbar. Remember to use this support v7 widget toolbar. Okay, toolbar, otherwise it will give an error. Then a view pager, then a main view pager editor, the class that we have created earlier. Then the tab layout, you can use this design one. Then a text view for the navigation header name, for the email. Okay, next we'll create a tag if in case we need to see the locked statements. So private static final string, PSFS, this stands for private static final string. Okay, then tag equals to my notes main. So this is done. Next we need to get the tab icons. For that I'll create an array of the IDs of that tab icons. Then similarly for tab labels we will need another 2, and we will need for tab active icons, and this will be white. Sorry, this will be gray. Okay, now we need the drawer layout. So private drawer layout, limit drawer, then to string. We will not need this in this as of now, but we'll need this later. Okay, so it's better to create this now. Private string. Okay, now here we'll initialize the toolbar. Toolbar equals to find view by id r.id dot toolbar main. Then we'll set it as the support action bar. Next we need a drawer, and next we will need the navigation view. Now we'll add a listener to this. So navigation view dot set navigation item selected listener, and I'll add a method here. So for this, first we need to add this implements. Navigation view dot on navigation item selected listener, and we will create the method here. Okay, as of now it will not change this here, we'll change it later. But before that, we will need an action toggle button like this one. So when we'll click on this, the drawer will be opened. Okay, so for that we'll get action bar drawer toggle equals to new this, and we'll have to give a drawer, then the toolbar, then a string for the open, and the string to close. I've defined the strings inside the string.xml file, you can see it there, and this open and close strings has to be different. Okay, have to be different. Next, drawer, add drawer listener, and it will need a toggle, and toggle dot sync state. So this is done. Okay, next the view pager will be initialized here. So I forgot to initialize the view pager. That means this part which will hold means this part which will hold the fragments. Okay, so for that, under this tab layout, add the view pager, and it will be match parent, and the ID will be view pager main. Okay, so you can see this blue outlined box. This is the view pager. Okay, so next we'll initialize here the view pager, and we'll need an adapter for this view pager. So we'll initialize this adapter, and it needs fragment manager as in the constructor, so we will pass the get support fragment manager. Okay, so this is done. Next, view pager dot set adapter, and we'll pass the adapter. Okay, in view pager adapter. So it's done up to this. Now we will initialize the tab layout. So next we'll create a function for set the custom tab. So we'll create the method here, and inside this method we'll create a for loop for int I equals to 0, I less than tab layout dot get tab count and I plus plus. Inside this linear layout tab, and we'll need a layout inflator for this. Inflator from the context this, and we'll inflate the single tab layout. Okay, so r dot layout dot tab single, this one. Okay, now it will show an error, so you have to cast this. So done. Next, text view equals to, we'll create a text view of this tab, and find view by id, and the id will be r dot id dot nav label. The tab icon will be, and it will be nav icon. So next, tab label dot set text will get resources dot get string, and the id will be tab labels I. Okay, now if I equals to 0 dot set text color will be get resource dot get color, and the color will be r dot id dot r dot set color dot bright white color. Okay, and then tab label dot set image, sorry, it will be tab icon, set image. Oh shit, it will be image view, right? Set image resource, and the image will be our tab. Active icons I. Okay, else I'll copy this once again and change this to gray color and these two icons. So done up to this. Next, tab layout, that get tab at, and that set custom view tab. So this function is done. So this is done up to this, and I need two more functions. Now this will change to tab selected. This function will help to change to tab selected, and this function will help to change to tab unselected. Okay, this is the same as this, so I will not explain this once again. You can see it here. Now after this, set custom tab, we need to add one tab selected listener. So basically what this will do is it will check which tab is selected currently and change that selected tab's color to white and the rest to gray. Okay, so it is done. Now let's run our program and see if it is working properly or not, and I'll start. Okay, so Gradle build is running now. Gradle build is finished and it's installed in my device. You can see it here, but I think there is some problem. Everything works fine except this one. I think there is some problem here, so let's check where the problem may be. Okay, so after a couple of minutes of debugging, figured that here I have some error with the color, so you can check from there and it will be fine. So after that, if I run the app, then you can see that it's working fine. So it's installing the APK, and here you can see that it's working fine as we wanted. Okay, so done as of now.